We know that's not where the story ends from Caddy Corner at all. Clicks on a fight that will lead over towards the main POI. I think this is against Rote, against the big man Ronnie himself. Doesn't have any extra shields to play with, really. It's going to be the first shot that has to hit for Clicks. And it doesn't, but a nice 180 quick flick will make Ronnie use all the shields that he has. Just 2 chug splashes, 1 mini.
It's always so scary when players end up dropping down with no builds, especially on this one where it's so open. He gets 2 builds from the side of that, and we'll make a nice play with the remaining mats, but I think Ronnie gets the trade, and he does. Clicks is down and out, and you said the story of Caddy might continue with it. He might even back up still. You have Cody sitting on top of the main building, the main structure, waiting. I'd love to see the status of that vault. But speaking of statuses, we got Bad Sniper and Dubs, and Bad Sniper might be setting a big trap for one of the top players right now, and things could get really, really bad for him. And for the tournament, really.
Yeah. A snipe shot that'll come to a bad result. I've said the pun first, so I don't have to when it happens. It's not going to be a sniper, though. It's a charge shot, and Dubs is out.
F's in the chat.
Completely. They can use a few mats. He has 37 still left, though. Dropped in the same box. Edgy on the backside. What does this mean, though, overall for Edgy when he gets taken out? Another game where he doesn't get to have too much of a say. 5 points up for Nexty. Now his mentality gets so much stronger.
Edgy at 17 points. Falls in 86th. 61st, 39th. He's really only had 1 game where he's reached the placement threshold. Only has 1 elim on the day.
The players who are used to being near the top, once they start playing at these 17-point thresholds on the 4th game, if you end up with semifinals in 4th place like Liamzo was, and suddenly you're on the back foot, you're not going to feel like you're at home. You're playing on the away court, although Liamzo does get in the box. It's not going to be a fun time for him. He gets taken out. Silent was also so high, top 20, top 10 before. He's going to be at 10 points only.
Very imbalanced fights because he's so precise at taking them and picking them.
This is definitely imbalanced. Less shields, more mats used. Trashy on his back wall over and over.
I'm almost looking for another one. There's going to be a player coming through. It's Charlie. And he will maybe get in the box. 1 more attempt. Come on, Mohammed. Yes. What happened? What happened? Box like fish. He gets Charlie in the back, and another one for Mohammed. 10 eliminations, or 10 points, 2 eliminations in this game. Mohammed is starting to work against the pro players he loves to take out and post on Twitter. You know there's going to be a few posts after this. At least in the North American side, EU has their different ideas on how to deal with Surge, and it's W King.
NA using a little bit more of their mouse. EU using that keyboard. Mongrel, though, will be on that key. On the Spicy, this is going to be at the Authority. Or somewhere near it, actually. It's not. Both these players, I'm getting confused because they do land at Authority a majority of the time. I feel like the water might be one of the worst places to box near anywhere. Potential for a shark to just jump out. It's already affected a few games.
Oh! What? Aspect? What was that? I was not expecting anything to just be fired off from Aspect. But Bully is deleted. A no-scope hunting rifle shot. We've got to see that again, and yes, we will. Oh, that's the 4th revealed. And I'm pretty sure it's Stretch who controls all the space on that mountain. He'll be able to edge his way in and take the highest spot stack. He will jump into the box with Aperta and take him out as well.
This could be tragic. You were mentioning that you could have a chance at first. Right now, looks like there's no chance at all. His builds are so low too. He has to commit to this fight. Zuki playing like he has full effective HP, but he's low. Benji actually can't react fast enough. Zuki.
But he still has a ways to go on the rotate.
I see why, though. Once we tune in with him, 200 HP or 200 damage above Surge, you can see how everyone else like Kaiman are also just playing patiently, looking around. That's what you're used to. Zuki going against the grain takes them out. It was Benji. Mongrel, though, getting Weiss, I think, for the 2nd time. Coming as Stinks. Just mentioned it. He pops him over to Gabe, who was looking so good yesterday. But now, after this thing goes down, he's going to be taken out through his build.
I haven't seen that in a long time. Somebody low, and then the Stink will just confirm the fights. We'll switch off as we tune in with Mr. Savage. You got an Elim earlier on. 62 points from him. Basically 100 points off of where first place is. Mongrel a little bit above him. It's a little fight. Savage possibly can find the Elim. No way is there a shark who's... Okay, Savage got that. I thought he got yoinked by the shark. It kind of helped him there, breaking the builds unexpectedly, but he still has to deal with it. He has weapons. It looted pretty much everything for him now. Unfortunate. And those sharks have so much HP. I would love to see them make the HP of the shark slightly lower. Mr. Savage, no time, because he had to deal with so much. Is now dead. As the launch pad is placed, he almost had an opportunity to get through. But now he's gone. His story ended.
The chapters only get harder for everyone else who's basing up in zone. You'll notice when we swap between person to person, yes, Tragix takes out Kodal, but his AR is only going to be about, okay, never mind, 321. So there's an exception to the rule I was about to say. Because of Storm Surge and the fact that everyone has to keep beaming people, a lot of these players will only just have one more magazine left, one more clip to be able to shoot with.
I feel like we're in the chapter of the book where it's just tragedy. Everybody's starting to lose focus right now. I see elims that really should not be happening time and time again. I mean, I think back to the beginning of this game, it was Dubs falling to a player in a bush. It was bad sniper. And then after that, so many different big names falling directly after. I mean, we remember Booga falling in the build fight against Trashy. Although, still some big names to pay attention to, so maybe not all the stories are ended in tragedy. Frist is up, and so is Paper. Those are two players that we've been keeping our eyes on as they rise up the standings. They're getting ever closer to that top spot.
To give you more of a synopsis, we have Walkman as well, who's near the top spot, second place. Nico, who I'm not sure who is in this game or not, going to be playing for Glory 2. Versa, who qualified for or at 100th place, he's looking good, jumping forward. Bad Sniper, who started Doom earlier on in the game, is also launching forward. Snazy looking good as he glides forward with that crash pad.
This looks like Season 8 with ballers just joining the game. So many people flying through the sky, except they're exposed. So maybe that patch where the ballers could be shot at has been implemented. Crash pads are fun to watch sometimes, but my goodness, there's so many people right now, and they do get the rotations that work. Snazy, who has played decently, at least in the first game, and has fallen a little earlier, he's still up in this game and making some headway.
I'm impressed by the builds on High Pink. Moving in, yes, it was just a few boxes, but he was being looked at from multiple sides. Good job of blocking them off. It'll be Riftmole, who came second in his heat all the way up on height, and as I say that, it'll be Fist just knocking him right off.
At least he's still up. At least he's still alive. He's not in the zone by any means, so he can still react to that. Donnie will drop into a box with Paper. That might be the end of the story for Paper. No, a pickaxe, please don't tell me. Okay, thank you. Donnie will recover. Frist is still bouncing way ahead with the shockwave launcher, but his problem has been running out of rockets as he gets through the game. He's got to find an impact if he wants to continue. Nice pickup from Snazy, looking straight back. A well-timed box, and he will find himself an elimination. Frist is still on height, though, and there's still people that he can beam with the crash pads out.
This game's been so static, so slow at developing that there's still 18 people left alive. It's the 7th zone, so clustered, so claustrophobic, and people are just box to box right beside each other. You'll see all the low amounts of HP down below. That's because people are forced to storm, and Snazy will be the one to gatekeep them and just make them stay there, silent, completely suppressed. Aspect still near the backside. Shots no longer being taken as people start to consider what to do next. Snazy running out of mats, has to make decisions. Do we stay on this layer? It's Frist up top looking strong. He has the launcher, we know that. It's above water, a recipe for victory.
And it's first Bucky and Trashy around the same spot in the leaderboard as Snazy continues his reign of terror now with 3 eliminations. But another big name who is in the top 3, it's Stretch, who's trying his best to get somewhere else. He's at the bottom all the way on low ground. He's swimming, he's drowning. just treading water right now, but treading against Snazy. He's going to try to drop in his box, but a player from behind, it's Likur is almost sneaking in, but there's another flank. Stretch finally takes down the random terror of Snazy, the French player on Team Grizzy. It's still on low ground now. I think he might decide to start elevating. I think Frisk still up, way up on high ground, but only 1 or 2 rockets remaining.
Lurking in the back, Trashy's trying to make his next appearance for first place. Known aspect being taken out. Absorb Trashy once again onto Bucky. Huge shots that Owl picks up, but now it's Frisk. 5 rockets saved. 1v1v1v1 situation. 4 different players. A water zone. It's his game. That one stink that Trashy had gets used, actually putting him into an abusive situation. Kind of firing back. He's still in Storm. He's waiting things out. I think he knows exactly who's alive up top. It's Stretch who's challenging him. He's completely blocked. Now a third-party combo. Trashy takes out Owl, and it's a 1v1.
Frisk, who I've been calling out as somebody who has so much potential to win these games because game after game he has that shockwave launcher, will try to actually put out Trashy in the zone, but only 0 builds left, and I think it's time for him to go flying. He's going to try to play the zone, but no HP is ticking. Time is not on his side, and he's trying to break him down. He drops him. It might be work, but no, Frisk will close it out. With ice in his veins, 6 eliminations, and he puts himself to 196. I think he might have just overtaken Dubs.
Textbook plays. We'll take some time to study that one. We'll be right back after this break.
And it looks like he's sitting at second place right now. We do have Liquid Stretch in first with 202 points. And then Trashy, who's been pretty consistent for the last 4 games, sitting pretty at third. Walkman in fourth and Paper in fifth.